Everyone, welcome back to the BNB channel. I'm sure you're wondering who this big-headed person is.
Beautiful, elegant, graceful.
This bald-headed person.
Hey, she likes to touch my hair. I don't know why.
I like your hair.
Please.
I want to make something like
People
this.
of the BNB, help me to beg B to stop touching my head. My head. Please.
Yeah, I actually want to do something like this, but some forces beyond my control would not let me.
The forces. Should I call the name of the force? The forces is one force. So one.
But do you think this hairstyle is gonna fit me? Like, if I cut my hair, don't laugh at me, please. Don't. Well, so my friend Amaka, yes, her name is Amaka. She decided to grace
the one that
channel
doesn't
today and
disappoint.
feature.
Please have that. Put. I have introduced me.
We're going to be talking about finances before marriage.
Yeah,
like financial planning, like when the ladies think they are ready, like financially, before they get into marriage.
Yes.
If you watch one of my previous videos, someone raised this question and was like,
it's a very strong question.
Very
strong question.
And I was like, oh, let me make an answer this one. I had to do poll. Not that I don't have a response, but I needed to get like opinion. So the question that was asked, basically, I'm going to summarize, was when, just like I said before, when does a lady think that she's financially ready for marriage? The man wanted to know why a lady would decide that to wait, like I'm financially ready before she goes into like a marriage relationship with a man. And he was wondering why. Just like Amaka said, times have changed. People do things for different reasons, and that was why I asked different people, and I got a lot of responses, which you can see on the screen. But Amaka, what do you think would inform ladies to make decisions? And I would say, like, from the poll, you can see that in like out of 34 responses, about 29 people, ladies most especially, were like they want to be financially buoyant before they go into marriage, and they gave their reasons. And I don't know, that's a lot of number, like, so we can safely say, I know that's a really small population when we are looking at this data.
Yes,
but we can still use it as a yardstick for like ladies of this generation. Like, a lot of them want to have their own money. They want to actually have that financial freedom before they jump into marriage. Why do you think that is?
So I think that times are changing and times are evolving, and so the usual way a woman, or where a woman would get her comfort or get her, okay, I'm fine doing this, it's not satisfying to the average woman now. So a woman wants to be more. So I want to be known, not just as a wife, not just as a mother. I want to be known to be doing things. I want to be known for these things, and these things involve money. And because of the way the economy is going, women take these decisions to be financially buoyant from a place of, I want to help. I want to be of help to this person that I'll be getting married to. Because of the way the economy might be, I do not want to be perceived as a liability. I want to contribute my own quota to caring for the family, to providing for the family. So it's a lot of factors, really. It involves a lot of factors.
So what of a man that is really like someone like Dangote? Let's like, that's what I can think of right now, right? Or $10, like a young man, he has like this net worth in billions, and he's like, I want to marry you. And what would you think would want a lady to still feel like, what, I still want to have my own money, like in that aspect? Like, she's not helping because he has a lot, like, but what do you think drives that?
So I think that there are different reasons. There are still women who would come and say, you know what, I just want to tend to the home. And we are not cut out in the same form. So there could be different reasons or inspiration to why, or reasons why a woman will want to say, I want to work. Now, a woman could probably have passion in her from what she's doing, and that gives her money. A woman will also say, yes, I respect that you have your own money, but I want to have my own money. Sometimes if I'll say I want to have my vex money, do you understand? Just have something that I do not have to necessarily meet you for everything. So I want to buy underwear. Honey, come and give me money for underwear. I want to buy a pad. Darling, please give me money. You get? So
absolutely.
women want to, yes, I know you are a provider. Yes, I know you can provide, but I also want to know that in case of anything, I have something to hold on to, or there's something I'm saving. And I also think that women are also, like I said, we've evolved, and so also has our thought, or have our thought patterns evolved. So I don't know if I should say it's also coming from a place of fear, because a lot of women have seen what inability to have your own or manage your own finance can do to a woman who is in a marriage or in a relationship that is abusive. And we have witnessed a lot of times when you see marriages where the man is physically abusive, and she cannot leave, and you have conversations, and she's, who will take care of the children? At least he's taking care of the children. You know, I hear a lot of women give this as excuses, and I think that over time, that's scenery, that scene that a lot of women have seen, has just built that unconsciously. So, and that's why I think who you marry matters. You need to marry someone that, the truth is, a lot of women, once they feel safe with a partner, this issue of I need to be financially buoyant might not really come up. So sometimes it comes from a place of, I don't want to be in a place where I cannot take certain decisions because I do not have the financial wherewithal to carry out these things, you know. So who you marry determines. Have these conversations. Men are also interested in women who are financially okay. The question now is, how much is financially buoyant? Do you understand?
That's really great. Like, I will use myself as an example. Like, I liked it when you pointed out people have different reasons, and we also have different personalities. Like, I've always been a person, I don't know whether I got it from my mother, but I've always had this personality of, I would never, even my parents, it was so hard for me to ask. Like, my dad just knows, he knew the kind of person I am. So right from when I was growing up, like from primary to secondary school, when he gave me pocket money, you never see me ask. I won't ask you for money. I don't know if it's pride though. I don't know, if I just don't know. I just feel like I'm going to get this myself. If you don't give me money, I will stay there. I will not buy anything. So my daddy always, every beginning of the month, when he collects salary, he just calls us, Deborah, Emmanuel,
take your allowance.
Take your allowance. Like, so I've always been that kind of person. So if I'm marrying somebody and he doesn't understand my personality, he would think that I'm this kind of person. I just be like, oh, I want to have my. I'm just
be clash of misunderstanding.
I'm just wired that way. Like, it just gives me this fulfillment that I got when I look at this. I'm like, I got it by myself. Like, I accomplished this. So there are women like that in terms of, like, even when we extend this to even career, like, you know, a lot of women just they derive satisfaction, they derive fulfillment, you know, from
their jobs.
So I guess that this has really shed more light and, you know, makes us understand why women reason this way. If you're a guy out there, you're a man, you have someone you're in a relationship with, and this is the person's thought process, I hope you can understand why she's thinking this way. It could be like because she's scared that, you know, like, if things turn out really bad in the future, she wants to have
the backup plan.
It could be also, like, just like I've said, it could be that that's just the kind of person that she's wired that way. She just derives that fulfillment and satisfaction from having her own, you know, thing.
I need to say something. I need to come in here. So when we talk about being financially buoyant, so there was a popular, or there is a popular actress who came around to say, I married at a young age because I had this amount of money sitting in my account. And so that ladies are not pressured into thinking that I need to have this certain amount of money, or my business needs to be running at this particular level, or I have to be at this place or level in my corporate, in my career, before I can say I want to get married. You need to understand that in as much as there is need for financial buoyancy, there is need for financial maturity. So you might not have been there where you want to be. Shouldn't be an excuse for you not to get married to someone, especially if you are sure that this is the person you want to be spending the rest of your life with. However, one key ingredient, or one thing that is important to anybody, be it a young person, be it a middle-aged person, is financial literacy. Understand yourself, understand who you are, understand why you take certain financial decisions that you take, understand, okay, these are how much of my salary, how much of my earnings do I intend to save? What is my target? How much do I target, or do I plan to be having or earn in a particular time of my life? So I think it's not financial buoyancy that should be a determinant. It should be your level of financial literacy or maturity. And we can't say that you would be mature before you get married. Sometimes these things are learned along the way.
You can be earning 10,000 naira, 50,000 in a month, and you are more mature than someone that is having that is earning 500k a month. You might spend wisely.
What I have come to understand is that the more you earn doesn't guarantee happiness or maturity.
We were talking about this yesterday. If you're not careful, especially when you get married. I was talking to you yesterday about it. When you get married, my dear, is like expenses will come.
Keep coming.
So if you have not, trained yourself, disciplined yourself, like when it comes to finances, even when you were single, trust me.
And it could just flow into the marriage, and then you might have issues with your partner. So yes, one of the major sources of issues in a home is is finance. But I posit that it's not the lack of money per se, is the maturity around your finance. Yes,
and this is why you should take couples class, like premarital counseling. And there was something I saw like online. Not just go to your pastors. Go to someone that is a psychologist, but like that boy is actually, if you're a Christian, like
all the more beautiful.
All the more beautiful.
I would always suggest go to a counselor. There are people who
like
have been trained to discuss
tell you real facts. Like I thank God that the person that we went to meet, even though she's actually a trained counselor, like, but she was also like a pastor. She was speaking facts. Like she wasn't sugarcoating everything under like, God and saying that as a woman do this, and she was speaking fact and throwing it. She made us understand even our temperaments, our personality, like this, like that. And they talked about finances, like they talked about how this can actually be. It's not about having the money, it's about how you manage, how you handle it. And you as a single person, how have you been able to manage?
How have you been able to manage taking care of bills?
Because
and you were saying something about discussing temperaments and all that. Many people do not even know that the kind of temperament that they have determine their financial decisions, or the kind of financial decisions that they make.
Yes, when I see it playing out, like I told you yesterday, like how me and my husband we handle like finances, and it's synonymous to our temperament.
Exactly.
Like it's very, very synonymous. Like this is our real, like their real life scenarios,
and causing really big issues in marriages. But somebody that I know would say it's how you handle yourself as a single person. It would determine in a long way, in a very
Yes.
great way, how you would handle your marriage. So how do you handle, the question is, how do you handle your finance as a single person? We're not asking you to earn 1 million. We are not asking you to earn in billions. We are saying the little that God has given to you, the resources that you have, do you just, when little resources come into your hands, do you just go on a splurge? Do you know,
What
when
do
you
you
are
mean?
happy?
What do you mean? I must buy bone straight. Don't attack me, please.
Of course, of course, you can buy the bone straight. But if I buy, in fact, there was a saying, or there's a saying that if you cannot buy something twice,
Yeah, you
then you shouldn't buy
buy
it.
it.
So a lot of people buy a lot of things that they end up not using, all in the name of, I need to keep up with the Joneses. So if you do not know yourself,
Know
to
yourself,
thyself
oh.
be true as a single
Yeah.
person, so that when issues or financial issues come, because they will come,
They will.
how you manage it.
They
Okay,
will.
we need to cut some slacks in this area. Okay, we are spending so much in this area. We think that, okay, we should.
Mhm.
Do you understand budgeting? Do you understand what it means to save?
Shey,
Do you understand what it means to
The banker is
invest? A lot of
economics. Is an economics.
do you know what it means? So a lot of, you have a discussion with a lot of people, and they sometimes they mistake saving with investment. So I keep my money here and I'm investing, and we see our parents make this mistake and realize that the 1 naira, let me use 1 naira, that could buy maybe one gala in 2010 or 2000 cannot even buy half gala, half in 2021. So do you understand budgeting? How do you budget? Do you stick to your budget?
I told you, in fact, I'm going to talk about that. I told her about how I went to go and look for budgeting app yesterday because I was like, guy, we need to do this.
Exactly.
Because this is it. I'm married now and I'm seeing these things in real life, and that's why you really need to take a hold of these things before you even get into marriage.
Have an understanding of your finance. So what we are saying is, there is no cap as to how much you should have before you get married. I do not believe that it should be one of the things we discuss, but it shouldn't be like you should be earning this amount. But I want to understand your psychology or your thinking when it comes to your finance. Where do you see yourself? What are the plans you are making to ensure that you are here? Yes, you should be earning. I believe, or I'm a strong believer in earning. Some ladies do not, how do I put it now? It's, some people find it okay for their wives or not to earn. Okay, just, you know what? But at the end of the day, have that discussion. Understand, and even if you aren't earning, resources still comes through you. Understand these resources, understand how to make portion them. So I want to use 20% of the resources that come for my for gifts. I want to use 50% of resources that come for my day-to-day expenses. Okay, so I'll be saving 10%, I'll be saving 15%. And then one thing about these things is, once you start practicing these things, it comes naturally to you after a time. So when there is someone else coming and then two shall become one, it makes it easier. And in fact, I feel that is the wonderful thing about marriage, because there is multiplication, and one shall chase 1,000 and two shall chase 10,000.
So on the flip side, we also saw from the poll a number of women, even though it was just a minority, that decided that, you know what, they don't care if they have the money or not, they are going into that marriage, you know, they'll probably just wait for the zaddy,
gonna flex on the zaddies,
pay the bills, you know. And if we want to classify this kind of people, I mean, just like we said that there are different reasons why people, you know, take that decision. It could be that, you know, they're not earning so much, but they don't really care. They just want to, you know, come back home, wait for my husband to take care of the bills, you know. The other set of people might just be like, you know what, I want to be a housewife. I don't care if I'm working or not. My husband is still going to pay the bills. Even if I don't have the money, I'm still going to do, you know, summer in Dubai, you know, chilling in the Burj Khalifa, you know, spending the money. And then the other set of people are the people that, you know, whether they want to work or they don't even want to work, we don't know. But their husbands are like, relax.
Relax,
I'm
let me
gonna
take care
take
of
as
you.
in
How
let me take
much is your
how much is
bill?
your
I will
salary?
give you times
I'll be
three.
paid times three. There are some men like that
Oh my
that
God.
that want to actually take care of their women, or they don't want them to stress, they don't want them to work for whatsoever reasons. Just like we said before, there are a plethora of reasons why people make these decisions.
Yes.
We don't know what your situation is. We can only give examples of from what we've seen, what we've heard.
Yeah.
And if a woman decides that, whether she's one that decides or her husband, so far there's understanding,
Yes,
right?
there's an agreement.
Nobody
and
is
there's
forcing anyone. Exactly,
communication.
there's communication. No one is forcing anyone to do what they don't want to do. Like, that's totally fine.
And that speaks to the importance of marrying your kind and having these discussions before marriage.
exactly.
Because when you are having these discussions after marriage, the aim is now to come to a middle ground. But
exactly.
when you are having this conversation from the vantage or point of being a single person, this is what I want,
Exactly.
and I don't know if I'm ready to trade it. If I'm not ready to
Exactly.
trade it, then I think we should just be very good
Exactly.
friends.
Exactly.
So there is that speaks to you being, or rather that speaks to being the importance of what they call it now, marrying your type, communicating these things, not saying, you know what, when I enter, that is when we'll have these conversations.
Exactly.
Have the conversations now. For the single ones.
Yeah, and be truthful to yourself.
Yes.
Like, don't disguise.
And don't be doing wife material 1 million.
So in conclusion, like I hope that you guys have learned a lot. Like we've talked about a lot of things. We've talked about like the reasons why people make certain decisions, especially females, when it comes to getting married, sorting out their finances. Some people are like, I want to sort out my finances. Some people are like, I don't care, like Zaddy is gonna take care of everything. Like, and we've also established that whatever decision anybody makes, it is fine.
Do what works best for your marriage, for your mental health.
The important thing is, like Amaka talked about financial, and I'm sure she's talking about it because she's also in the financial sector. She's talking about financial literacy, financial maturity. That's the most important thing. It's not enough to say, oh, I want to have the finances, or limiting your financial prowess to a certain amount that you have in the bank. That's not it. It's talking about how are you able to handle your finances in a way that is profiting, in a way that is productive, and even in the future when things are bad, or when you are even old and gray, you have this investment, you have this thing to your name, and then when marriage comes, like, you're able to handle it in a way that your partner doesn't even feel the brunt of it, and vice versa. So these are things that we've actually talked about in this video. And Amaka, I would ask you, like, what do you think, or where do you think you fall into in these two categories? Like, do you want to be a baby girl for life?
Baby girl. Okay, so I enjoy what I do. So I want to earn and still be taking care of.
Yeah, so there is a new category of people that are in between.
Yes, we want to
we
earn.
Are the in betweeners.
And we want to be baby girls.
We want to earn,
but like, we can still be baby girls while earning and while enjoying our husband's money. Yes.
Yeah, and
we are sharp baby girls.
Exactly. Even though I'm earning, even though you are earning, you will still take care of me.
Yes, please. I want to earn.
Please do what works for you. Don't mind us. Do what works for you. This is what works for us.
Yes, sir.
We are saying it, so do what works for you. But in the end, again, just like we said again, we've reiterated this. Like, don't pretend, don't disguise as to what you are not. If you want to be a baby girl, let your husband let him know.
Please.
If you want to be a Christian Lagarde, a Okonjo, a Wiala, you want to get to the highest of the highest top in your manager, in your professional life. If you derive fulfillment from it, please let him know.
Yes.
And men, please, I beg you in the name of God, marry your type. I hope you've learned so much from this video. We're going to end here. If you haven't subscribed again, don't forget to subscribe. Our Instagram handles are here. Amaka, what's that handle? Amigold _ something like. But yeah,
please don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe.
And let's see the numbers rise. Really.
Yes. All right. See you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.